Hi everyone, it's Kelly Hampton. I would like to share with you the first quarter predictions that I've channeled from Archangel Michael. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. And be sure and click the little bell also so you can be notified when more uploads are coming. And a big thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm very grateful. So I am a channel. I guess I could consider myself or call myself many other things. My bio and links to books, divinely given books, healing modalities, many other things you can find below in the description box. But I hear guidance from a variety of light sources, and I usually listen every year for some predictions from Archangel Michael, and this is the first quarter for 2020. Okay, so this is what the Archangels said. In the month of January, human beings can expect to feel much more source energy than the previous year. What is the reason for this? The Galactic Light Council has discovered the basis for nuclear weaponry, which is still contaminating your planet as a result of their magnificent work. The vibrational forces or pulling from these dense areas on your planet are being lifted! Exclamation mark. Michael went on to say, imagine a drain with water being pulled down into it, sucking everything nearby down into it. This is a simplified version of what I'm describing. As a result of this, many more human beings in the months of January and February especially may feel primarily one of two ways or two extremes. Some may feel more tired than normal as a result of this once drain transforming itself, and others may feel so exuberant and over the top with vitality and joy as a result. So wherever you fall, if this applies to you, not everybody certainly has the same sensitivity to energies, but if this applies to you, Michael said, rest when needed, or be more energetic, as indicated or desired if you fall and you're feeling these frequencies during these 2 months. I asked Michael about our financial systems, and I asked him another question, and I said, many are indicating that there will be a reset. Please share with us your insights into personal prosperity. How will any reset alter this? What is your wisdom? And this is what Michael said. To my understanding, there will not be a global reset this first quarter, nor likely the second quarter of 2020. The decade of 2020, much like all decades, is determined by mass collectiveness or collective consciousness. Therefore, it is still my wish, along with all the angels, masters, and Christed intergalactics, to remind souls to continue to embrace their hearts by expanding their self-loving concepts, expanding your concepts of non-judgment, and remain or create even more balanced and joy-filled lives. As an entirety, the decade of 2020 will witness many, many global announcements. All announcements, when they arrive, are held in God's infinite sources' loving hands. Will some of the announcements be as a reset, as you are calling it, in your financial systems? Yes, absolutely yes. My insight into the approximate timing for this will likely fall into the second half of the decade, more like 2025. This restructuring will allow for old controls on your money systems to evaporate like smoke and be sent to source for total healing. In this process, which has already begun, human beings need to embrace the notion that truth will prevail. These announcements are coming rather fast once 2025 has arrived. Because of the gateway opening on 12/12/19, similar to the frequencies of 12/12/12, and because of the many expanding crystalline grids, those of you who are awakening yourselves will be the first to feel more abundant throughout 2020. These energies will be strong through all the months of the first quarter. Why is it important or useful to feel more abundant? Because once a soul feels more abundant, they will have opened a door wide into a room which you, they, everyone, Michael says, can decorate, to use his words, however one wishes. 2020, however, is not a duplication of 12, 12, 12. How could it be? Nothing in the universe is non-changeable. What is similar, I suggest, is another wave of a gigantic healing as the final limitations and oppressions by the elite are once and for all liberated. He continued, during the months of February and March, one of the significant prospects I am being presented with is the nature of crimes against humanity, including the animals and Mother Gaia. Specifically, if you become aware of large corporations, global organizations, and companies whose means of prosperity seem unethically gained to you, it may appear as if their influences are growing. Systems like what some souls call Big Pharma, or the banking regulatory systems, manipulation of weather, are a few examples to which there are many more. But this is not so. No matter where you live on the planet, be reassured that they are breaking apart like cookies, which will continue to crumble, partly due to your loving thoughts and actions, and the influx of millions of light workers entering your planet in the last 2 years. He goes on to say, if you count all the star seeds and those awakenings since 2012, the numbers are completely staggering, even to me. So do not be tricked in false news about chaos and feel threatened. If there was a one-word theme for the first quarter of this new decade, it would be hope. I presented Michael with another question. Many of us, including myself, have worked and continue to do so at various Earth chakra points to restore ley lines, conduct energy grid work, expand gateways as gatekeepers. Places like Mount Shasta, Glastonbury, England, and Sedona, for example, which, by the way, I will also be returning to in 2020. So if you're interested in spiritual retreats to these important power spots, visit my website at kelly-hampton.com. Read in the descriptions box below. Can you tell us more about these chakra points, Michael? Will they change in some way in the first quarter of 2020? This is what the Archangel responded to me. He said, I see 9 vortexes presently. Some may teach 7, some may teach 12. I see 9. Let's not trouble ourselves with a number. Rather understand their significance and more directly, what can I share with humanity about them? In the first quarter of this most auspicious decade, many more souls on Earth will be drawn to personally visit these sites. Some souls may be awakened in the middle of the night or pre-dawn with messages from their guides about this. Something like floodgates opening may occur. But this flooding of experience is not destructive, rather it's highly evolved. In other words, many star seeds and awakening souls are looking for greater ways to help Mother Earth and all of her inhabitants. If this speaks to you, I would encourage to start packing your bags. And hopefully you'll decide that you'll be moved and drawn and led to travel with me. I asked Michael another question. Are there souls who are awakening who are not star seeds? Yes. Just as there are billions of stars in the sky, no two souls' journeys are exactly the same. And then I asked him about a topic that my clients have asked me a lot over the years, about disclosure. And many types of disclosure, but the disclosure I asked Michael about is first extraterrestrial contact in a global way. We know we've been visited. There was not only visited, but the Earth was battled for millions of years ago. So, but what the question I presented Michael was, global awareness. And so I asked Michael, will it occur in 2020? What can you tell us about the first extraterrestrial kind of global contact, for most of humanity is aware? He mentions in his second book to me, 2012 and Beyond, The Truth from Archangel Michael. Many people in that book thought, that time would happen closer to 2012. So this is what the Archangel shared. As far as the first quarter of this next decade, I do not see global disclosure occurring. This does not mean that it may, because I do not sit on every council. There are multiple councils in the universes. With that being shared, it is not my vision that full disclosure is going to occur in the second quarter. However, there are indications that the second half of this year on Earth will be opening pathways for full disclosure. This is what I have been told at this time. If humanity continues to judge, hate, anger their fellow man, then the galactic squadron will delay. At this time, it is my understanding that they will choose to first quote-unquote land on highly vibrational areas such as vortex points for several obvious reasons. One reason being is that the frequency of the vortex energy will easily facilitate this. This is not, however, for the uninitiated, the first contact, which I mentioned. Your world was largely built upon various races, even battled over, but that's another topic, he says. At this time, several cities are being considered for this global disclosure. They are Sedona, Arizona, Glastonbury, England, and Lake Titicaca in Peru. Michael goes on to say, my own sense is that Sedona, Arizona, and Lake Titicaca will both be experiencing the mass landing of light ships at or near the same time. The reasons for this are numerous. One reason is to further align the feminine with the masculine aspects, and they both operate in different quadrants. I asked Michael to describe what this will be like and what will be the reaction. As I have awareness, again, he mentions not being on any of the high councils, these events will occur over several days, approximating a week in total for both sites. The reactions will be differing across the various planes of existence or universes. Generally, the majority of all that is will celebrate with ceremonies of all types in honor of these most auspicious events. The shamans are getting ready for ceremony now as we speak. So are the Hindus, the Sufis, the Muslims, and the Jews. Every culture. This will be a time of tremendous growth. Imagine the multi-universes releasing out a collective sigh of relief. This energetic sigh will positively affect the ocean tides. The winds of the earth will change or become still momentarily in celebration. Many souls will hear, feel, and know this gigantic hug being given to earth. Consider yourselves most fortunate should you be in your earth body during this time. And lastly, I asked Michael for his final thoughts about this first quarter of 2020. In his reply, while 2020 will advance humanity as a species into a more loving, evolved race, we know many souls are not yet awakening. I ask for the following prayer be stated on their behalf. I am enough. I am wrapped in a cocoon of white, gold, shimmering love, able and intentionally embracing it to share with anyone who is living in a 3D matrix. That's it, Michael said. See how powerful and wonderful you are? The overall energies of the first quarter of 2020 are stable and expanding. Do not allow fear to overcome you.